talking, put him in the talking. Anybody roll with him. We gon' put that body boom on him. Carolina black and white blue on him. We gon' put that body boom on him.
Yeah, welcome to another episode. Dab Sports, #1 new podcast in the land where we predominantly talk about the Panthers. We just got back from Germany, jumped on Tepper's private jet. We apologize for all the negative things, psych. But we did come back with a victory, W this week, guys. D, Adam, Brandon, what are y'all thoughts on this past week? How do y'all feel about the game? Me and Brandon predicted correctly that we would win. Adam was wrong as usual. So we'll start with you, Brandon, somebody who knows how to pick games.
I feel like Sunday, I expected us to win. We was gonna ride off that momentum of us winning the week before prior. So as much of the same. We didn't perform the best. I felt like we got the dub, which is the most important thing. But the game shouldn't have went to overtime. It shouldn't have been as close as it was, in my opinion. But I feel like the defense actually showed up. Shout out to Chuba for having a record day on the ground. So, which I was wrong about, but I did tell y'all about JC was going to lock up Neighbors. So
he was right about that.
Yeah, that definitely hurt my fantasy team. That's the only thing that
6 for 50 yards. So
I really needed him to do like $120.
I didn't see. I told you. I didn't expect them to be able to run the ball or us to be able to run the ball against them. I was wrong about that, but
but they have a bottom like 4 run defense though. So I expected us to be able to run the ball. I figured Schubert would look good with the extension just because of their run defense is so porous. But like you had said in the last pod, having to depend on Daniel Jones to get Neighbors the ball does impact, because there was like 1 or 2 throws that Neighbors was wide open and Daniel just either didn't see him or throw a poor ball. And it's like, oh, dang, they go another extra 50 yards, which I could have used once again for my fantasy team. But overall, I think Hubbard did what he was supposed to do against a bottom 4 run defense in the league. That's kind of what I saw out of that.
I mean, at this point in the season, it's time to start talking Chuba Pro Bowl. I think it's looking more and more likely. You know what I mean? He's been one of the top performing backs this year. Once again, he put the offense mainly on his back. I think it wasn't a terrible game from Bryce. I can't say it was a great game. You get a win because I think he threw for less than 150, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he didn't have a lot of air yards or whatever this week, but I felt like he managed the game pretty well. Once again, kept the ball out of harm's way, which is what I've been wanting to see. If he can just manage games and just show me that we can score, and he can just not, when we do have to ask him to throw the ball, whether it's third down, I think he had 1 or 2 good third down throws this game. So if he can continue that, I like the progression, man. I'm still not completely sold on him as a quarterback, but for this game, I like the way our defense played. Or I like the way, of course, the offensive line held up. The running game was solid. Hate to see Miles go down like that. He's been such a trooper for us this year.
Yeah,
he ain't hurt for real. He got carted off for no reason.
Think so, bro?
Yeah, the report came back. I think he rolled his ankle, bro.
Oh, okay. He acted like shit was broke.
Get out of my mouth.
But he did that in the right place. He over there in Germany. He can go get the Kobe treatment while he over there.
He can't get that platelet surgery.
He gonna come back healthy.
He getting paid enough. He might as well. Yeah. Might be able to buy it.
I'll be hating on Miles like that, man. Miles has been a good teammate. I've been a locker room guy. I mean, he hasn't. Like we talked about this probably before last.
Miles ain't been shit, man.
I'm not saying he's worth what his contract is, but what is he? He's a third down back at this point. I mean, he's decent.
With the way you defend Bryce, that's
Miles is terrible. He might be the worst player on the team.
Man, look, the worst player on the team, Carter. Stop it. We got CFL players up there. If he was, I guarantee, if he was on the Cowboys, he'd be their #1 back.
Yeah, that is true.
I feel like, you know what I'm saying? He's not that bad, bro.
But speaking,
I didn't want to see him carted off though.
But speaking of the worst player on the team, Bryce Young did go 15 for 25, 126 yards, 1 TD. What grade would you give him based off that performance that we just saw?
I give him another B- again, consistent with what it was last week. I felt like he made some good throws. There was some timely third downs that he did miss. He had no turnovers, right?
No.
Yeah, so he had no turnovers. He was sacked one time. We saw him extend the pocket on a lot of throws, just kind of climb in the pocket and even kind of moving around to be able to get. He is shorter. I mean, that's just what he got to deal with. But he was able to find throwing lanes. Again, we saw Sanders kind of break out with him, Coker, and then we still got XL. So, I mean, I like what I've seen from him again. Once again, the progression in these 3 games from Bryce Young is what I've been waiting to kind of see his entire career. I mean, it's only the second year, but if I would have seen this 3-game stretch from him his rookie year, I feel a lot more optimistic. But right now, I'm seeing with this 3-game stretch, I mean, I want him to ride it out for the rest of the season, at least with the way he's playing. I'm not saying he's the future, but we're seeing what we got with him. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's fair.
I mean, I think
for what we gave up.
At a B, I mean, I came to the reasoning for pretty much the same, or I came to that grade for pretty much the same reasoning in terms of we got to see a little bit of escapability this week. That was good to see. Just ultimate growth, man. Once again, I'm grading him on the Bryce curve. So I'm not grading him. I'm grading him on based on what I have seen. And this has been growth. Once again, still not sold on him as being our guy yet. So
yeah, so I give him a D-. I'm grading him, and this is to be honest. If he was a 7th round pick, I might have y'all grades. The fact that he was the number 1 overall pick, I'm gonna grade him like he's a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
That was not a good game. There's an argument he had an F, if you want to be real. His QBR, which QBR takes into account running and everything, was a 58.4. I mean, we all went to college. We know that's an F if we talking score wise.
I mean, yeah, but like the stats don't tell the story. The eye test, I feel like, tells a lot of the story, especially with him and what he did this past week. I feel like the eye test kind of showed a lot. I mean,
so you saw a number 1 overall pick out there?
I saw a B-. You know
I think
I thought he's gotten great.
Hold on. If I told you, all right, take his performance. If we got him with the 7th overall pick, we would be talking about him a little different. It would be more of like, hey, for a 7th round pick, he are actually doing all right.
After him being a 1st round pick and what we gave up, and you being a Panthers fan, why do you want him to fail though? You know
I don't want him to fail. What I'm telling you is there's nothing.
You see no growth?
No.
I think two things.
No growth.
I don't agree with that space, but I think both of what me and Carter was saying at the beginning, or just a few minutes ago, and what you're saying can both be true. If you're grading him on a scale of, I want him to be what I think a number 1 pick should be, because Caleb is a number 1 pick and he's not looking good.
So I don't know exactly is a number 1 pick.
No,
what
but I'm saying
number 1 pick then.
If we get what he means though. He means when you're the number 1 pick, you're expected to come out there and not play CJ Stroud level, but play like you're a competent quarterback. He hasn't shown us that, so that's fair. But once again, we know what he is now. Grading him on what he's been all last season as compared to what we've seen the last 2 games, from that standpoint, I would give him a C because I have seen growth. Now, if you ask me, comparative to what I thought he was going to be, what did I see out there? I would agree that's a D because it's still not good enough. That's not what I want to see, but that's why I said I'm not sold on him. I don't think, Carter, are you sold on him? Like, are you back on the Bryce bandwagon for sure? I know he was texting and going crazy, but
yeah, I mean, I ain't really left the bandwagon just because for what we gave up for him, I want him to succeed. I want him to do good.
Well,
from what I've seen though, I've seen growth in him. I've seen improvement in him. I'm to your point. I see what you're saying. Do I want him as a quarterback of the future yet? I don't know. That's why I really wanted him to start.
Are you
now.
optimistic?
Yeah, I'm optimistic now with this 3-game stretch. I've actually seen growth. I've seen him get better. I can see that benching actually helped him, from what the standpoint is, from what it is. And then you can see the more trust in what Canales wants too, because, I mean, he didn't throw hardly. I didn't see one screen last week or on Sunday, fellas. Not one screen. So he was letting the ball go.
I didn't look at the next game, but
maybe this will add clarity to what I'm saying or help you understand my perspective a little bit better. When I hear B- or B grades, I think that level of quarterback, the Baker Mayfield, somebody you're okay with paying to have
asked for his performance, not long term. You asked for his performance on this game.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I still did. Okay, what I'm saying is a Baker Mayfield B+ game. When he plays that game, you go, okay, I'm okay with that person being my quarterback. I don't care how much improvement you think he made in that game. You still come out of it going, I don't know if that's my quarterback. Like, there's no way he came out of it.
What do you want to see from a quarterback that was when the rushing game was under 53 yards?
Not at this point in the season, bro. Like, I mean, not at this point in his career. You just named an established quarterback. If you take any quarterback who's in their first 2 seasons,
the Baker made the playoffs and played well at Cleveland his second season. So I'm talking about
The
somebody
team was
who,
totally different, though. We can
Okay.
admit that Cleveland had a really good defense
Okay.
and they had better weapons.
Andrew
than
Luck
us.
was number 1 pick with a bad roster, made the playoffs.
I'm not going to say they were a bad roster. I'm going to say they were. They
were
had Peyton
quarterback
Manning.
away the whole
They
time,
won
yeah.
12 games. Peyton Manning was off the roster. They would look trash. They put another good quarterback in there. They started winning games again.
They had
That's not the same.
They had no O-line.
Spade, that's not the same.
I promise you. I'm telling you what they had. They
I'm
had
telling you,
no
Kenneth,
O-line.
it's not the same.
And
The reason why he got beat up and retired, they had no O-line.
No. I'm not saying they didn't have an O-line,
Their
but
games are different.
I'm not saying that their teams was not. It's just not the same situation, bro. No situation is the same. So you can't. That's why it's tough for me to sit here and listen to you say rank him based on other number 1 picks. Every situation is different. I'm gonna bring back Caleb. What about Caleb?
That's what I was asking.
What
that's fine. What are we expecting from number 1
Okay,
pick?
boom, perfect. Even on Caleb right now, not most pundits will tell you they blame the situation around him.
I don't give a damn what they blame.
But listen, what I'm saying though.
What's the tape say?
Okay,
What's the tape say?
Do you not think Caleb has an elite arm?
Yeah, he can make all the throws.
Okay,
I think Zach Wilson has one too.
Okay, perfect. Name one thing that you think Bryce Young do elite. There is nothing on planet Earth that you have seen in the NFL him do elite. Every other because you asked. Every other number 1 pick has shown you at some point something they do elite. I'm gonna give you another.
I just asked you specifically about Caleb, and you did not answer.
I just said he had an elite arm.
No. So because he has an elite arm,
you've seen something elite from him. Even Anthony Richardson, who got benched, you've seen elite athleticism. So there's still something to hang your hat on. There's nothing.
I'm talking about his production, regardless of his elite arm. How many fucking elite arms have you seen in the league who hasn't panned out? That's not enough.
They still got
That is not enough, Spade.
Okay.
Jamarcus Russell's arm was electric.
Okay.
Carter, am I right or wrong?
Well,
you're saying that he's looking better because he has an elite arm. They haven't scored in the past 27 drives. They just said that they've been saying it all day today.
I haven't seen that elite arm.
He does he can make the throws. My whole thing is he's not playing like a number 1 pick, which is what you were just saying about Bryce. So that's why I brought up Caleb, because you can't say. You're just trying to throw out things where you're like, what is he good at? An elite arm. He hasn't shown it on the NFL level.
Would y'all trade Bryce for Caleb right now?
No.
I would.
Come on, bro. Now your Bryce love is something different.
I would offer the physical.
There's nobody in the league who would agree with that.
I don't. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we don't ever agree with you about.
But I'd be right most of the time.
No,
it's not true.
50 to 8.
Okay.
Just wrong on Sunday.
Okay.
So wrong on Sunday.
We're gonna transition to our new segment that right now we call it Adam's Trivia until y'all in the comments give us a better name, because the name ain't great.
It's not called Adam's Trivia. Kenneth doesn't listen, just like now. He's not listening to reason.
Hey, y'all think Bryce? What?
No,
there is no team
we're not
in the
gonna
league.
let you move off of it just like that. No, we're not.
Bryce over Caleb.
That
is nuts.
Well, it's not. That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't want to end the conversation there, because that's not what the conversation was about. The conversation was, how are you grading Bryce? You said I'm grading him like a number 1 pick. So I guess my question to end this fairly would be, what do you grade Caleb right now?
Oh, a D as well.
Okay.
He's been playing like a D. I'm consistent in that.
That's fair.
But I'm saying there's still more hope when I say the elite arm.
I didn't ask you
there's
that.
More hope.
Because I agree.
I give him a D too. I'm not over here saying Caleb is playing like an A.
I'm just saying, when you say to play like a number 1 pick, I'm just like, there's not a cookie cutter for a number 1 pick. Trevor Lawrence still isn't good.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm consistent in that. Like when they play like that, the same way, like the way Purdy is being touted is the way he is because of his draft position.
You can be consistent in your grading and still be wrong. I'm just going to leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Because to grade a first and second year quarterback and say, because they got drafted high, that's on the evaluators. But because they got drafted high, I'm not going to look at the progression that he's making from game to game and be like, you said you hadn't seen any progression. That's foolish by any imagination, Spade. To be like, there's a reason that Canals even let him play in the next game. I mean, but we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that. Okay. On to the trivia portion. So we'll make it a little light here. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of switch it up. Carter knows that
progression. Okay.
Normally I'll be asking both of you, but this one will just be for you. We're going to test your knowledge since you know so much. All right?
Thank you.
And if you get them all right, then I'll ask you to put them in order. So I want you to give me the top 5 Carolina, or the top 5 rushing leaders in Panther history.
Stu.
That's number 1. Good job.
Oh my goodness, his running mate. Oh my God.
A little double trouble.
Yeah, his running mate. Drawing a blank on his name. Davis.
Who?
Stephen Davis?
Steven Davis?
Yeah.
Steven Davis is not on the list. He's actually number 8.
Okay. Foster is not on the list.
Sure about that, buddy?
There's just no way. Foster got more yards than Davis? There's no way.
Foster's number 5 on the list.
Wow. Okay, D'Angelo is number 2.
Good job.
Got
Christian, 2 more spots.
Christian is probably 4 then, if Foster is 5.
Good job. One more spot. Who's number 3?
Number 3 is Tolbert won't here long enough. It got to be somebody from the early.
You need a hint.
Yeah.
He's over 6'2".
Yeah, that shit don't help me because the first person I think is Brandon Jacobs, and we ain't never had Brandon Jacobs. I take 4 out of 5.
I mean, you don't have any other guesses. Leading rusher. Notice my verbiage there. The leading rusher. That's another good hint. I didn't say.
I feel like I'm drawing a blank.
I think our producer knows.
I think
Twan, you want to help him out?
Would the answer be Cam Newton?
Bingo, buddy.
I'll take that stupid.
I was over here the whole time.
I'll take that stupid. Oh my god. So, oh my.
Not a great moment for the man who is always right. not your shining moment, buddy. But
Hey, man.
yeah, that was good.
To be fair, that's
good.
I think he was probably gonna say like Tim Biakabatuka.
That was
No, it's like the over
Wesley
6'2".
Wall.
I'm
That
like,
was- Biakabatuka
that many
was
runners.
next. Yeah, I thought he was gonna go Nick
He's at
Goins.
6?
I was like, Nick Goins was our third string back, bro. Please.
I tell you, I thought Mike Tolbert for a month. I was like, oh my
I was
God.
trying to give you. It was hard to give an description of Cam
Black Shear.
without like giving. When I said over 6'2", I thought I was gonna give it away for real.
No.
He said I thought Brandon Jacobs.
Like, that's what I think, Big Back. That's who I think. But
What we got next, man?
and well, we got the bye week coming up. With the bye week coming up, is there anything y'all looking forward to seeing coming out of the bye week? I know for me, it's the debut of Brooks. I believe Brooks will solidify what I think has been a B+. I would say a B+ rookie class.
Oh yeah,
With our Coker and Savior.
Carter. Let's get on him about that right now, because we talk about Spate was wrong. Didn't he? Was he the biggest Dan critic about
A trade value.
No.
It wasn't about this draft class. It was about his trade value.
I mean, you was a Dan critic though. I mean, Dan is in
No.
charge of it all.
No, my thing has been his trade thing. I've spoke about this class from the get-go. I've been high on this class.
No, you have been high on the class. You have been high on the class.
like-
I just feel like you've been giving Dan some money.
Yeah, because the trade stuff.
Everybody in the class has had to play too. So
Yeah,
that's another part about
Well,
it.
yeah, I mean,
We hit on every pick.
to answer your question, I mean, I think going out of the box, I'm most excited about the running back tandem too. I'm trying to see if we can recreate double trouble. You know what I mean? I think Chuba. I mean, now that I think about it, Carter, you might have been right. Miles, he might have faked an injury so he didn't have to face getting his spot taken, because he's damn sure gonna lose his spot this week.
Cut him.
I mean, he's gonna go down to he's getting what, like 10 snaps a game.
Yeah.
I mean, they were gonna take that right away. So they're talking about Chuba's snaps are gonna go down a little bit, which I don't know if I'm happy about, because Chuba's he's a rhythm back. Like, I don't think Chuba is the type of back where you can let him run 15 times and expect for him to rush for 90 yards. I think he has to run 20 times, and then 2 of those times he'll probably have 40 yards in between them. You know what I mean? But he needs to kind of work himself up. I don't know about this. We'll see. I'm hoping the tandem works though. I really do.
Yeah, it ain't just that tandem I'm excited about. Like, I know Dollar Bill was our first round pick, but I think our Coker and Savior might be the number 1 receiver next year.
I think it's a good chance, bro.
I mean, they play 2 different positions. Coker's a true X, and XL and Leggett is or same person, but Leggett is more of a, he can play the slide, he can move around, he can play that Z, that Y, but Coker's really like a true X.
Coker could be. I mean,
straight outside.
Is that what Mike Evans is?
Yeah.
I mean, because if he turns into that, then and if we were talking about this a couple pods ago, but if X don't turn into at least AJ Brown, but Coker turns into Mike Evans or something Mike Evans light, then I'm with. I mean, he's showing that he might be able to be our best receiver.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I love Sanders coming out of school, like the tight end Sanders.
Yeah,
like
I like him too.
He's special.
He's showing he can block, and that's what I respect the most.
Yeah, like that's the thing. He's over excelling in. Is like I didn't expect him to be like you said a blocking
second person you on this roster. You didn't call it special.
No, I think this is a special. I think Brooks is special. I think Sanders is special. I didn't see Coker coming.
You think Sanders is special? I mean, Coker is special as well.
He has special potential.
This nigga, you just special in everybody.
I like all three of them. I'm sorry, forgive me. Like when I think I see special,
I mean, some people reserve. You know, Stephen A. goes, "This kid is special." I mean, you reserve that to somebody who's gonna be like, "Yo, he's gonna be a top flight dude." I mean. Jonathan Brooks is gonna get, he'll have a max contract for a running back. I'm not so sure about Coker and X.
Okay, so sorry, microphone. I would say Coker. Okay, I get what you're saying. I do think Sanders and Brooks at one point will be top 5 in their position.
I think it's easier to be a top 5 tight end, so I feel like you're kind of hedging it there. That's why you left the receivers out. But I can't be mad at that. I mean, I want that to happen, so I'm not gonna be mad if it he turns into it. I can see him being really like such a good route runner that for like a couple year stretch, I don't know if it's going to be extended, but for a couple years, he's probably going to be just like where Hockenson is. Like Hockenson is a top 5 tight end. Well, he was maybe 2-3 years ago, but nobody would consider him like an all-time great or anything like that. That's why the tight end position is kind of fickle.
Yeah.
Unless you would end up being one of those, a Greg Olsen or
but that's been my comparison for him. He's going to be Greg, where he may not be 1 or 2, but he's always going to be in that conversation for 3. Some years you're going to argue he's 2. Like he might he might have more production than 1 and 2 1 year. Like I just think that's going to kind of be his lane. So. Is there anything you?
I mean, what was the question? My bad.
Anything you want to see coming out of the bye week, bro? It's fine, man.
Anything come out the bye week? Shoot, man. I'm just kind of trying to see a little bit much of the same, like from the team. I feel like we've started progressing, ride this momentum off. I personally feel like, we've gotten better every week. The last 3 weeks, especially since Bryce has been in there. I just want to kind of continue to see our young people, young players. I'm more on the defensive side with Trevin Wallace. I like what I've seen with him. I like Josie Jewell. Josie Jewell. That's what we ain't talking about. A'Shawn Robinson and Josie Jewell played phenomenal games on Sunday. A'Shawn Robinson, not only did he force that fumble in overtime, he got a key sack. Yeah. Josie Jewell got a fumble recovery as well as an interception. That interception was super huge because, I mean, Chuba with the his knee twisting and having that fumble, that really put us in a bind. So,
I mean, bro, you give Jewell having the dot. I think that changes the defense. Yeah. I mean, like it's just because of seasoning. I'm with you. Wallace is probably going to be a really good linebacker. He might even be better than Josie. But right now, we need a Josie to even look like a competent defense.
We didn't even expect to have play Wallace and give him that kind of workload that early.
Exactly.
So the excitement for me coming out of bye is just us getting healthy. Just us getting healthy. And we kind of seeing what team we really got. I mean, of course, we're not saying, it's only but so far we're going to go with the record we have, but it's really just kind of seeing, I'm not looking for the playoffs, but just trending up in the right direction. I feel like we've been trending up in the right direction last few years.
Y'all know what sucks, though? It's like JC basically is good enough where cats just aren't throwing to his side, but between Mike Jack and the other dude that we have, they're just picking on them.
Dane Jackson. Yeah, he was looking a little bit healthier, but then also, we still got Smith Wade, who is a part of that same draft class. So we've really hit on 5 straight picks. The picks that we didn't hit was the last linebacker that we drafted out of Michigan. I forgot his name, so I apologize. I don't remember your name, but we traded you anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Shout
out to GJ Warren.
But and then we got Crumley. I don't know if y'all remember him, the D tackle.
Yeah, I remember.
So I'm not sure if he's been playing a whole lot, but besides that, those 2, everybody else was X, Brooks, Wallace, Sanders, and then Wade Smith. So, I mean, when you're hitting on, those are what good teams do. When you can continue to hit on draft picks later in those rounds, continuous years. It's just the first year, but we'll see.
There's certain key positions that you got to hit on. Quarterback, you can't miss, which is, why D probably is so upset about it. And then I feel like, man, he's going to be a serviceable player, but I kind of feel like we missed on left tackle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did.
I mean, just because he's not going to be what we talked about this on Sunday, I think, Carter, or Monday.
Yeah.
When you draft somebody that high at left tackle, you're expecting him to be a left tackle for 10 years.
Yeah.
And he's going to end up being on the right side, or we're going to throw him inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way he's going to be our tackle for the next 10 years. Or not left.
And Christensen was looking good. Bryce only got sacked one
That's
time.
what I'm saying. Christensen looks good. I mean, when you got other dudes that are able to fill in and either do exactly what you can do or better, and you're the top pick, it's not a good look for you, bro.
Tighten up, Icky. Tighten up.
Get right,
Tighten
Icky.
Up.
Yeah. So
from Charlotte, tighten up, my boy.
So this weekend is granted we don't have a Panthers game coming up this weekend, but it is 2 main events coming up this weekend. One being Friday, we got Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Fumblerooski.
Can we get your quick thoughts on that? Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul on Friday on Netflix for the free kinda.
I wanted to tell you this earlier when you broached this topic, how dumb I think this fight is. Okay. I mean, I'm so pissed off that Mike Tyson is even giving him the time of day. Like, I don't even want to I'm really hoping Tyson knocks his head off, but I think the reason I'm upset is because I know Jake has a chance. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so much younger. So I don't want to predict this because I feel like my brain is telling me that Jake is going to win this fight, and my heart is saying Tyson pull something out of it. You know what I mean? Bite his ear off, whatever it takes. Just do not let him knock you out.
Yeah, I think I think Mike gonna hit him hard early, and maybe that first minute, and everything after that is gonna be a Jake Paul dog walk and a Mike Tyson
dog walk.
Dog walk.
I don't think it's gonna be close,
bro. If Tyson gets dog
he's
walk,
gonna
bro,
get dog walk.
Then I might quit the pod.
Okay,
honestly, bro.
Yeah, right.
Just that easy, just okay.
No,
you can't go to DB Sports.
Hey, Brandon, DB Sports. We
secondary. We just talk about the secondary on this pod.
Shout out Butler.
I thought she was gonna give me a gonna fight for me a little bit.
Nah, if that's the hill you gonna die.
It ain't. It's not a fair fight to me.
Yeah,
Tyson's what 50?
You think he's gonna get dog walked?
I'm not gonna say dog walk, but I think Jake's gonna win. Like, I don't think it's gonna be close.
Y'all look so convicted. Like,
bro, he's like, Jake ain't look terrible, and Mike is 50, bro.
I mean, this is how I felt when my brother called me after the Lakers lost game 2 to the Nuggets a couple years ago. He was like, yo, you know they were about to get swept. I was like, swept? I was like, Bron and AD are not getting swept, all right? And then that's how I feel now. I'm like, dog walked? I'm like, my Tyson's not getting dog walked, all right?
Okay. We'll see.
And if it happens, fellas.
Did the Lakers get swept in that series?
Yes.
Yeah, we got swept. Oh, shit. Yeah, and it ended up happening.
And there's one more main event. Another legend, you would say, in his sport. Jonjones is defending his heavyweight title for the first time versus the greatest heavyweight of all time, Stipe.
Jones. I'm going Jones. I never bet against Jones, bro.
I'm kind of how you was on the last. My heart says Jones, but my head is starting to say Stipe.
Stipe ain't fought in 3 years.
I know, but this is the first time Jonjones is fighting someone who is truly bigger than him, has more power, and DC struggled to take down Stipe, and DC, I would say, still is a better wrestler than Jonjones. So I think Jonjones will struggle to get him down. If they have to stand up long enough, Stipe got enough power. And the reason why Francis was able to beat Stipe is Francis has knockout power. John don't have
John will do whatever it takes to get it done. I mean, he's the baddest man on 2 feet right now, bro.
Now, like you said with Mike Tyson, he will bite his ear, kick him.
He'll do whatever it takes.
Steroids.
I mean, people say John is somewhat of a dirty fighter. He can still do things that other fighters won't do.
Toe shit.
Yeah, toe shit, stomp. Poke the eyes, that type of thing. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go Jones on this one. Who you got, Carter?
I'm gonna go. Oh man, I hate to bet against the black man.
You got Stipe?
I think I'm.
And my prediction, I'm gonna have to put some money up against y'all.
I'm gonna go Stipe, bro. What I'm worried about though, because betting against Jones is a tough one. What I'm worried about though in this fight is the fact that I feel like I've been hearing a lot of comments, a lot of press conferences from Jones talking kind of he want to fight Pereira, and I'm afraid that he's looking past Stipe. Stipe is no slouch, bro. Stipe, although he's took a 3-year layoff, Steve A's tough, bro. Steve A's nice, bro.
I don't think he's looking past him. I think that's just John's bravado. I think in his mind, he thinks he's always going to win. So I don't think when he's in camp, I think he's dialed in. But I think when he's going to be at a press conference, I mean, it's not like he's got a lot of one-liners anyway. He tries to say things to get dudes riled up and try to build for his next fight. It's kind of boring.
He don't got to sell a fight, though. It's Jon Jones.
He really don't got to sell a fight, but he's still not where he. There's a difference between the numbers that him and Conor are doing. Conor, was able to bring in way more money. I don't think has anybody even approached John to do something outside of UFC, like
because they can't trust him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You can't trust him, bro. Like you can't trust putting his name. Dana White really can't trust him. He puts a lot into him, and he's let him down every time. And he's been publicly saying that. So.
And honestly, the rivalry with DC is what kind of increased his.
It is, office. But that's what I'm saying. He was destroying people.
Yeah,
but he's not that. He can't sell a fight like that. I feel like people are gonna watch the fight, but there's something to a fight when you can get cats riled up for it. I don't know how Tyson was able to sell fights when people knew he was about to get knockout dudes in a minute.
Because it was so spectacular.
You wanted to see it. Yeah. Jonjones, he might not even knock you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He might submit you.
But I will push back. Everybody keeps saying Stipe ain't fought in 3 years. That's a lie. He fight fires every day. He's a firefighter.
Yeah, but I mean that is true. But
don't play around.
His as long as I feel like he was punch drunk a lot from them Francis fights, so I think that 3-year layoff is actually more beneficial for him.
Yeah, and him and Francis is 1-1. Like
Francis, he was taking big shots. Like he wasn't taking no shots. He was taking like Francis was dropping bombs on him, bro, and he was eating them and keeping moving forward.
That was what was crazy. It was like he would get tagged and try to exchange. Like, bro, get yourself together. And Francis almost looked at him because, Francis was taking the punches too. And Francis was like, oh, this is what we're about to do? Like, I got more power than you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And I'll also say this. Stipe beat DC pretty convincingly in their last two fights. And that first fight, DC won. He caught him with a chin. He caught him on the chin with an elbow, like in the clutch. So that was a very okay, you called him. But when the next two times, like that, it was pretty definitive. And
Stipe is way bigger than him too.
Yeah, and Jon Jones, I would say versus DC. Yeah, he beat DC, but DC was having good moments until he caught him with the kick on the side of the head and, had him sitting there interviewing with Joe Rogan punch drunk. But with that being said,
turned into a UFC pod.
I know. Hey, look,
man, we can go talk about this for hours too.
Yeah, but we didn't have another game coming up this week, so we figured we'd talk about some things in sports. But hey, we just want to appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you stay here this long, please, like, comment, subscribe, hit the vibe. We on Twitter. We on.
How we got 100 views and 25 subscribers? Come on, people.
Hey,
hit that subscribe button, man.
Come on. Well, we actually got 39. We've been stuck at 39 for a little bit. Let's go get 40. Make 40 be you. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. We on Twitter. We on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We are out there. Go get us. Or if you're on Apple, like, comment, review. I hear that's the thing they do over there. Leave a review. Say something nice. Say something mean. Say Brandon.
Reviews?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they put some shit on there. I'm deleting.
Okay. Yeah. Tell Brandon in the review.
Just gonna be honest with you.
Carter's a little sensitive, y'all.
You put a bad review, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that.
Yeah.
You can't delete the reviews, bro.
Delete the bad review, bro.
Hey, just go.
Why would I not?
Hey, put in the comments how wrong Brandon is about Bryce. It's okay. It's okay. But we just want to thank y'all again. Have a good one. We will be back. Shout out to Twan, #1 producer in the world. Yes, we heard y'all like new setup. Ain't no telling what's coming next time. We might be on the Alpha title. Peace.